Good morning on this wet morning. It's January 3rd. Merry Christmas. This is the 10th day of Christmas. And we have 2 more days to go, and then we will be at the Epiphany. Um, this morning it's Sunday, and you will perhaps go to church with all your Kingston folks at some point today and hear uh, me preach about the passages appointed for the Sunday. There are other passages that are appointed for the daily lessons for today, but I thought today, rather than looking at either of those, I would let you in on a little bit of how I pray in the mornings. Um, I read the lessons, but I also do some other stuff. I always start by lighting a candle, and I haven't lit my candle that's been lit every other morning um, uh, for our time together because I wanted to do this together and let you know that there's a certain prayer that I offer while I light the candle. And I will go ahead and do that right now. Come, Holy Spirit, my soul inspire, enlighten with celestial fire. Give thy sevenfold Spirit unto me, that I might in all things serve you gloriously. Then, in addition to saying some prayers from the prayer book and some lessons in scriptures, I often read from a number of books. One of the books that I sometimes read from is this one right here. It's A Year with Rilke, a great European poet of early in the 20th century. Um, wrote in German and some in French. Um, but and I thought I'd share one of his poems this morning. Um, uh, but before I share that, I wanted to say something about this new year, which I haven't really talked about much in these times. Um, I also often read Richard Rohr, who has a daily meditation online. Richard is a Roman Catholic Franciscan monk and priest, I think. Very wise and creative and very humble. And so I greatly appreciate his words most every morning. And this morning he talks about the new year and the apocalyptic sense of this pandemic. Apocalyptic, uh, we often think is traumatic, but the word apocalyptic simply means unveiling. It means the revealing of the truth. And I think one of the wonderful things about this terrible pandemic has been the revealing of so much about our culture, so much about our lives. I hope when we begin to return to whatever a new normal might look like, we are much more aware of our relationships with each other and take them much more seriously because of the revealing that God has given us in these days. One of the ways that I look for that revealing from God is through poetry. And so I'm going to read my translation of this Rilke poem, which is from a book of his poetry called Stundenbuch, or the Book of Hours. So it's literally a poetry for the daily office. It's what the Book of Hours is sort of about. And this is a particular prayer to God in poem form. You, O Lord, the wheel at which I pray and stand, your dark spokes catching me up, drawing me nearer to your center, widening my will and my ways outward with each roll and turn. It's a wonderful image, I think, that when we really pray and do more than simply offer a laundry list of our needs and expectations from God, but actually pray in a way that deepens a relationship with God by listening and being present with God, we get tangled up in God. Like a turning wheel, because God is always moving a lot faster and further ahead of me anyway, and I think really much faster and further ahead of any of us human beings. And so that image of being caught up in the prayer wheel, and then being caught up in that prayer wheel, being both pulled into the center and grounded in God, and also sent out and pushed out to the rim of the wheel, where the needs of the world are, where there are people that are hungry, people that are beaten down by addictions of all sorts, and all the other things that are going on. Of course, some people in our day and time are facing COVID, or if not in their own bodies and in their own lungs, in someone dear to them. And there are just so many ways that we need to reach out from the center, not from my own place, not what little I can do, but from a center that is much stronger and deeper, that I have to reach into in my morning prayers. So I hope you will think today maybe a little bit about that wonderful image of the wheel as your prayer, and explore ways that your own prayer life can go deeper, so that you reach closer to the center and also are pulled outward to care for others. Even in these strange days when we are in some ways so isolated from each other, I think there are other ways still today that we can reach out and be with others that is so powerful and important. So pray on the prayer wheel today. And in the description passage session today, I will go ahead and write this prayer, this poem by Rilke, my translation, and I will also put the Richard Rohr link in case you would like to explore saying some daily prayers with Richard, a wonderful resource. Merry Christmas, have a good day, don't float away in the rain.